These guys over here just like, oh, Solski's not casting yet. What's wrong? Because the race hasn't started yet, guys. Starting in about 1 minute. Welcome to Andy versus VeXtopher, round 2. Link to the Past main tournament action. Vex is up 1-0 on Andy. If Vex wins tonight, Andy's randomizer career is over. Or he's just out of the tournament until the next tournament comes around and he plays it. If Andy wins, then it's going to go to a game 3. And we have the unfortunate pleasure of watching Ambrosia today. I think a mode that is very polarizing in the sense that you either really like it or you really hate it. I find that most folks probably hate it, honestly, as I just want to dial down my mic a little bit. Guys, I saw the comments that my clip was too loud from last time, okay? I understand. The clip was too loud. I get it. I'm going to be on my best behavior tonight. I'm not going to laugh massive Keck W's into the mic and holler and hoot and be excited about the game I love. I promise, guys, I'm not going to get excited. We starting. Boots are in the Dark World. So Ambrosia, guys. 2 things about Ambrosia. Number 1, the game gives you a hint on where the boots are, so they know it's in Dark World, meaning that it's going to be Overworld. The second thing to note is that the bosses are always going to have an item. Doesn't necessarily mean a key item. It just means that it's going to have an item, okay? So it's very important to kind of understand that for the strategy of the runner. They might actually approach dungeons a little bit differently than they normally would. I believe we saw Red Crystal Desert, Crystal Hera, and a Eastern Pendant. The classic. We got shovels. Shovels for everyone. Shovels for everyone, chat. And swords. I forgot. Ambrosia starts with sword too. Whatever. Just so you know. I guess that's the other point, is the third point. I honestly don't mind it. I'm just salty. I got burned by Skull Woods once. I'm just like, I don't have Fire Rod. Why would I go to one like item Skull Woods, right? Guaranteed. Yeah, it was my it was my mitts to my Fire Rod. No big deal. I've never played it since. All right, both our runners pretty much close to each other here. Vex is a little ahead. He started a bit early. I could sink it, but I'm gonna leave it for now. He's ahead by about a second on the broadcast. I'll leave it as is. It's fine. We get small key in the chest. Standard opening, so it's pretty standard. Andy, please. He's losing time, guys. The nerves. This is the critical game for Andy. If he loses, he's out. So juggling that key like it's his destiny here. And VeXtopher is just playing the wrong game. Mega Man X sprite. Really like this. Really like the game. Don't know how I feel about the sprite. I kind of like it. I kind of don't. It's a different one, right? Already better. Hey, you know what? I heard that, like, if this is true, I heard my man. God, hold on. My man. Hold on, chat. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing, chat. God, where is he? Where is he? Oh my God. No, this is not happening. I'm not having a brain fart like this, am I? It's the nerves. Sabotender's commentating. There we go. How do I forget Sabo, man? Like, Jesus. My boy Sabo is commentating. All right, on the SG broadcast. So, and then draws. that doesn't mean anything, by the way, guys. That doesn't mean anything. I'm just saying. And draws. All right, so we have pretty much nothing going on between the first couple of chests here. Just that shovel of unknown value. The starting sword, of course, with Ambrosia. Pretty Resident Sleeper. We know we're not gonna have boots, guys, until Dark World. As we did get that early hint from Uncle, as in every Ambrosia seed will tell you where the boots are. So luckily it's not in somewhere like TR or GT. Dark World is pretty open when you get access to it, so a lot of checks off the hop. It could mean some bad places, though. So I'll have to wait and see. So guys, I have a great story about Sabotenders. So while we're just kind of waiting for this seed to kind of get rolling. So Sabo and I met each other at for the first time at AGDQ 2019, right? So that was like the first GDQ I went to, and it was the first event I went to for like this kind of game, right? And there's a bunch of rando players that went, and like SM players and stuff, so it was good like mingling for me, because I was more in Link to the Past community at the time. I wasn't so much in SMs, but more for SMZ3. But yeah, Sabo showed up. He's like, hey, Solski, it's me, Sabo. Like, oh, hell yeah, what's going on, dude? He's like, not too much, I'm wearing your shirt. And he just like flashes the blue Thanks Solski shirt. That was commissioned by an unknown provocateur. That may or may not be someone I know, but oh my god, I'm choking. Guys, I'm dying here. Hold on 1 second. Anyways, heart in the chest. Enough about GDQ. And all that fun stuff. Vex is up 1-0, correct. So that is the score right now, is best of 3. Vex up 1-0. And they roll Ambrosia. You know what? The mode that both the runners hate. Talking to Vex before this race, actually, he mentioned that he was 100% down to double forfeit with Andy. As long as he was down and the admins allowed it. And I actually asked the question in the race room, and I didn't really get a solid response. So I imagine that was a no-go. Finally have our first actual item here in the hammer. It's pretty nice to find early on in the back 3 here. I think if anything, I always like finding hammer early. I would rather probably chase gloves towards a late game. So getting an earlier hammer generally just routes better for me in Dark World. So I kind of like getting that. I'm sure most runners agree about that one. I don't think a lot of people like running into a late hammer. Although hammer does lock out its own stuff. It just means that could get into some really cheeseball situations if you're chasing it, right? Like it could be like Ice Palace hammer. We see the Pearl here in back of Sank at the old man. Andy gonna go ahead with South Shore first. Vex gonna go with a more traditional route in the starting going to the crab and the tree pull here. He might even elect a scout. Nope, he's just gonna go ahead and check these out. No, he's going right to Lost Woods. Okay, this is a time crunch here. Andy, no, Andy, bad Andy. That's a 100%. He's nervous right now, guys. Oh no, we see a flute for Vex immediately in the Lost Woods. So that's really bad for Andy here. Double so. So he dies to the Octorok there. But now he just loses time because... Oh, is it the crab? Oh, hell yeah. Guys, hold on. I'm prepared for this. I'm prepared for this, guys. Oh, God, the crab again. That's so funny. But yeah, Andy's going to miss out on this flute here. So he's going to lose a lot of travel time, unfortunately. By not having this flute that young VeXtopher is going to have. Is it VeXtopher? VeXtopher? It's got to be VeXtopher, right? It's got to be a play on, like, Christopher. It's got to be. I know these things, guys. Trust me. Okay, so we're going to get our look. We didn't really see anything there in the back of Moldorm Cave. We see an Ether here in Blindside. And we see a Quake here in Blindside as well. So, Andy is going right to Dam. So that tells me he's either going to leave Ice Rock Cave for now, which is obvious because he's already done Moldorm Cave. He's not going to walk all the way back to Ice Rock Cave. But him just quick swapping the bombs shows me he's going to go to Agina early as well. And he doesn't know how much this routing's actually going to hurt him right now. He's going to lose a lot of time on Light World by doing this. You know, I normally call this the anti-clown defense. I'm going to call it the clown at this point. And of course, it's like, you know, circumstantial clown. You don't know you're clowning, but he'll know he's clowning when he finds that flute. Vex just finding every item in the game. Holy moly. There was a glove and there was something else. What was it? I want to say it was God. Oh my God, dude. This is so good. Yeah, Red Cane. I got Red Cane. Okay, if Andy finds a glove here, it was armor. That's what it was. Thank you. If Andy finds a glove here or a sword, this is really good for him. Like, really tremendously good, because there's 0 chance Vex checks it, I think. Okay, sucks for him. All right, so yeah. Andy about to just run into every item in the game. He's going, yeah, so he's gonna go shovel into Kakariko here. Pretty, I would say pretty standard play with the early shovel. Generally speaking, you either could do this route here, get bombs, and then dig and then go back to Cac, or you can go Cac south into this dig spot. So either way, like, they're about the same time. It's just personal preference. And if Andy hasn't done Lost Woods yet, that's fine. But that being said, guys, I'm gonna lean on this. This is the worst possible starting route Andy could have taken for this seed. So now that flute, guys, is in Lost Woods at the mushroom spot. So he's gonna get that flute, and then he either has to go south from Lost Woods or S&Q to go there once more. And you know what? Like, he has to maybe go that way, or maybe he's going to elect to go that way for Dark World Road anyways, and he'll pair it up. But he's losing a lot of time on this start play here. Vex saying no or yes. I'm not sure which. Oh, the shovel. That's what it is. Okay. That was really close. He almost got picked up by that bird there. Half magic pass up? Yeah, no, I'm not surprised, honestly. Being in the bracket stage, you know, race game for half magic is a bit much, I would say. It's a bit much. Like, it's nice and all. It's a really handy item to have and a nice safety. But the problem with it is, again, you're going through race game for half magic. What you might see our runners do is they might do dig game to race and get the half magic that way. So they might do that later if they have a mirror pairing by the time they hit dig game. Otherwise, we probably won't see it for the seed. All right, VeXtopher is going to go to Dark World here. He might map on his way to Hype Cave, so we're just going to pay a little bit of attention to this as Andy kind of cleans up his value. So we see Pendant Thieves, Pendant Mire, Bat Pod. Okay. Mire was green. The classic Pendant Thief scumbaggery. The classic. I'm missing a pendant. I'm missing a pendant. Red pod. Okay. Green pendant Mire, red pod. But I'm missing a pendant still. No, I'm not. I'm stupid. Never mind. I thought I was right. I should just trust my instincts here. Alright, Andy just did the cave, so he must have his value here. Unless he's stupid. Which, I don't know. He died to a crab early on, so I don't know, guys. Stop picking on Andy. Alright, Beck's gonna do, this is kind of Andy's starting route, actually. Because he likes to go south route up from Hype Cave. I see a mushroom here from Beck's side. And you're gonna have that. Yeah, honestly, I wasn't paying attention to Hype Cave, guys, but I 100% I'm gonna say they probably didn't have anything, given the fact of how much items we've had. We've had so many items already. Alright, Vex is gonna go ahead and check out Dick Game, and he's gonna go ahead and get his flute. Oh god. He's just gonna roll his eyes, guys. He's gonna roll his eyes when he sees it. He is not gonna be happy at all. He will not be happy seeing this here. Alright, Vex is getting a sword here. That's a good find early. So the South Dark World route paying off. And there it is, dude. Oh god, you guys can't see it. I guarantee you he just rolled his eyes to South Texas. But I mean, that just kind of shapes his route. He's just gonna go here to Dark World at this point. He's already in the village. He's gonna go to Skull Thieves, Village of Outcast area first. There's not really much of a play left. Like, he could flute away, but I feel like it's just wasted time at this point. Vex gonna stay in here, and he should have his red cane, right? Yeah, he should have his red cane. He should have his cane. Vex is gonna go into Village of Outcast next here. So again, we'll talk about Ambrosia a little bit. So I kind of went over it a little bit earlier on in the broadcast. So what happens is every dungeon boss has an item, meaning that, like, traditionally you'd be able to find, like, say 4 items in Thieves Town. One of those items is always guaranteed to be on the boss. So with that knowledge, hypothetically, you should be able to run into situations where you'll be able to clear the dungeon earlier, just based on that information alone. We also know that boots are in Dark World, but we don't know where in Dark World yet. So Dark World would indicate that it's in Overworld. If it was in a Dark World dungeon, it would specifically mention so. So we know they could run into it soon. We know that it could be in a really bad spot. So have to wait and see. Andy, of course, electing to go into Dark World here. Honestly, not a bad shakeup. All things considering, where he kind of had to route and cash in his flute. Bad spot like Pyramid Fairy. Exactly. Exactly. Bad spot like Quakefish, considering how both our runners have started to route this seed. Bad spot like Graveyard. Actually, Graveyard's Light World, technically. 45, Graveyard are both Light World. So Quakefish. Oh. I guess, yeah. So Vex is going right to Bumper. This is actually a great call out. So knowing that boots are in Dark World, he's going to scout this early. Not get rewarded, though, but it's really smart heads-up play, honestly, with that information. He's definitely looking for boots, and Andy's doing the same here. He's just going to elect and say, you know what, I want to find my locations. And look at Vex. He's going to go all the way to Quakefish here. So I think he's going to play Quakefish Pyramid, honestly, if he's going to make this commitment. It's a lot of time, honestly. He'll get some of that back, though, by getting early boots. Andy, meanwhile, going to go elect to say, you know what, I'm already here. I'm just going to go to Thieves. I think this is, quote-unquote, the better of the two plays that we're seeing here. Because I don't think you're going to save enough time on Thieves by searching up boots now. Vex was trying to go for a Kern jump and didn't get the setup there. It looks like maybe he's not comfortable with it. I know I'm not comfortable with it. I suck at it, so he's just going to bail out there. He's just going to go traditional route. He really wants these boots. That being said, this is a bit of an overcommitment, right? Because if you don't run into boots in these next two checks and you don't run into anything, it's a lot of travel. It's a lot of travel. And you're getting the first bottle of the game. All right, Andy electing to just Dark World Warp here. Or sorry, Death Warp, and he actually got rid of the fairy just in time. He almost collected that fairy as he died there too. All right. So now Andy's gonna go to Dick Game here and get his sword. Let's just find out where VeXtopher is. Okay, what's on the pyramid? It's just a heart piece. Okay, guys, so now that we have a little bit of a lull in action, we know that Andy is going to get this Master Sword here, and Vex is going to make his way to Quakefish. Guys, I just want to make a quick call out, right, to a friend of mine. So, Fear Agent has just created a new Link to the Past randomizer based podcast, right? And it's basically going to be every Monday. He's going to drop a new podcast. And it's going to be basically centralized around community figures, runners, behind the scenes personnel, like super fans even, if you will, maybe potentially. But you know what? It's kind of like a fully involved project where it's just like all rando all the time kind of thing. And let me tell you, the first episode's amazing, right? Like, he had Dante on for the first episode. They kind of just shot the shit for a good hour, right? Just talking about anything from like council stuff to whatever. I don't want to spoil too much of it, guys. Just go ahead and watch it. So it's at 216pod.com. That's 216pod.com. Not a sponsor, but honestly, it's good, guys. Go check it out. All right, Vex is going to go ahead and catch out Quakefish here. We see his first bottle. Okay. And Vex is going to elect to go into, I guess this is going to do Light World now. So we know that boots are in a bit of a rougher spot now. That being said, Vex is going to have some faster travel here throughout the Light World excursion that Andy had to go through. And again, in his hype cave, he's going to go Pyramid Quakefish as well, I imagine. Hoping to score those boots. Going to be a little disappointed. And by a little, I mean a lot. And by a lot, I mean massively. So with Vex's movement abilities in that flute on this route doing a little bit later, I imagine he's going to go to Ice Rock Cave as well. So that'll be our first check of that. That's kind of a bit of a call out here to kind of keep an eye on for. He might also elect to break the flipper stuff here. My personal thoughts is he probably does Ice Rock Cave. I think that's as far as he goes. And then he just goes to Death Mountain. I imagine Andy probably does the same here. He doesn't really have good options outside of climbing the Hera. And I feel like Vex's option is about the same here. There's not really item differentials or density. They're all just kind of doing the same thing, right? And Vex actually going... Oh, he's going to cash in the bottle here. That's right. It's a Bloomerang. I wouldn't say Andy last locations it, but it's not. It's going to be very low on his priority tier list for locations at this point. But yeah, Vex is going to go ahead into the mountain. He's actually not checking Ice Rock Cave either. He's saying, heck it, I got the dagger, boy. I want to stab him. But not like in a bad way. In more of a metaphorical sense, like he's just trying to kick him out of the tourney way by defeating him, you know. Alright, so let's find out what we get from the Old Man Rescue. Andy, where are you going next? Andy. Andy. Okay. I was like, and he bombed himself, why? So that was just a menuing thing. Third bottle on Old Man, gross. Why is Andy's sword glimmer like gold? Why is that? It's like a rustic bronze tinge. Maybe it's the Sprite, I don't know. Oh, you know what? It's his overworld lighting, that's why. Andy has done well to make up the early routing deficit for sure in the death. And the big call out to that is that he didn't really, like, Vex really tried to go for those boots. And kind of, I don't want to say inefficient, but I think, like, him trying to go for the current jump kind of evened it up a bunch. Because that's a lot of travel going east for really nothing. So that's kind of like the crab death, right? In timing sake. So I feel like that's about summing it up there. So Vex is going to have her first look of the Paradox Cave. I call it the 7 Chest Cave. That's just how I've always called it. Whenever I play co-op, everyone's like, 7 Chest Cave. You mean Paradox? I'm like, yeah. But, it's just one of those things. Andy, please. He's not thinking about it, dude. No. What do you... No? No, you don't even have magic. Bro, this is not a good idea. Oh, he's got 2. Okay, never mind. This is like a gangster play, though, I'll be honest. I didn't see anything in Paradox. Just a heart piece. This is, yeah, I didn't know about the second one either. I was like, no, you're not making this with 1 bottle. I'm sorry, but 2, yeah, he does. I didn't see anything in Paradox Cave. Mind you, I was pretty much focused on a really aggressive Spike Cave play by Andy. That's probably as early as it gets. And that's something like you can do to kind of catch your competition off guard, right? Like, you know, if you're playing through the sea and say something was there, you're going to be like in your head, oh, he's probably didn't get that until around when I did. And then sure enough, they get like 40 minutes earlier. Also call out that Spike Cave is Dark World. So Boots could have been there. And I feel like that's what really influenced Andy's decision to go there. Like Boots there would have been sick, dude. Would have been sick. And we have Vex going through Hera. Getting the lamp in Hera. What a scumbag location for the lamp, TBH. It's pretty bad. It's pretty gross. Alright, Vex setting up his Hera pot here. Got nothing in Paradox. Wow. So we know that the second item here in this situation, since it is Ambrosia, will be on Moldorm at this point. So that's a really quick Harris. Now I know I don't have to check any items. I basically just go get that lamp at that point, like in that second chest that you're going to check. And it's just like, okay, I just go to Moldorm, right? And that's exactly what Vex is doing. He doesn't have to drop down off the Hera pie. He just goes right over. I don't know what Andy's doing anymore, guys. I'm just going to pay attention to Vex for a minute. Guys, I will call out that Andy actually mentioned to Vex and a couple other people in the race room before it started that Andy is, to his account, 0-7 in his last 7 bracket matches. That's pretty bad. Does he make it 0-8? We'll find out. This is like Maple Leafs territory, by the way. Andy's turning into the Toronto Maple Leafs, guys. I hate to say it, but I'm right. You know, he's got the big fan base. He's probably one of the most popular streamers for Link to Pass randomizer, right? He's always got a decent showing, but then it's just like first round he's out. Why are you calling out the Leafs? I'm actually a Leafs fan, so I can do it. It's fine. I have permission. Jason Spezza has given me written consent to make that joke on air. He's gonna hate that I called him that too. Being a Leafs fan is like being an Orioles fan. Hilariously enough, Andy is an Orioles fan. Alright, so really nothing in Hera. Light World area. Pretty garb. We got a mushroom cache in here. Andy getting about as hecked up as Vex was on this Moldorm fight. Wasn't really kind of clean for either. In a sense that like he wasn't really playing fair with those patterns, but sells it down pretty good. Nothing in the mushroom spot. Trash. All right, we got our first... Attention, everyone. We have our first Ice Rod Cave check. 28 minutes. The classic. You know, if this was like 2017, 2018, guys, like this is like one of the first things you do. Now it's like everyone kind of flexes on it, right? Like they try to do it at like different timings and stuff. I feel like it's playing with fire, but we see it's just a red rupee, so it doesn't matter. And you're going to go ahead and go through Spiral Cave here. Get thoroughly disappointed with that blue rupee. Vex is gonna go, I imagine, to pod at this point, maybe. He's going 8. Where is he? Oh, he's gonna break the flipper stuff. Okay. Yeah, it's some logic. Well, Zora's in logic. Nothing else that he's doing is right now. But it's not a bad play. This is honestly something if you just want to kind of sneak in an item here. As a Kings fan, I would like to thank the 2012 Vancouver Canucks. Yup. Right, and he's going back to 3. He's going to cash in his bottle. I imagine either of our runners are going to... Oh, no. Oh, no. Vex taking the arrow. That's a hard lock, guys. That's a... I can't S and Q. How much did he lose? Never mind. Maybe? Maybe? No, now he can. Okay. They fixed it. I was like, oh, no. Can he not, like, S and Q? Okay. Okay. Everything's fine. I had this happen to me where I got crabbed near Zora area, and I couldn't S and Q. It didn't spawn me and land. I went off to like Neverland at that point. I had to reset. So luckily he's good. That could have been really bad. All right, so Andy going back to Dark World here. I imagine maybe going to Skull, or maybe deciding to also finish off Thieves Town. And Vex is going to go ahead and check out the Zagina play. So he's only getting a piece of heart here. So where would the progression be at this point, right? I feel like at this point it's either gonna be, it's got to be Titans, right? Like I feel like Titans, they've exercised so much in the game. I feel like it's just naturally gonna be Titans to open up the most. Flippers will open up a bunch of checks that Vex was actually gonna check out, but unfortunately got arrowed down on his way to Hobo. Bow opens up a bit, but they still do have most of Eastern in logic, right? With that lamp bound. Should mark that for Andy as well while I'm at it. And yeah, here we go. So Vex is going to go and play Eastern. Unfortunately, doesn't... Oh, Sash Cave. We haven't seen Sash Cave from either player. Shame on both of them. This should have been checked at like 10 minutes. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Unbelievable. One of my favorite checks in the game, just being diligently ignored. It's okay. So Pop Prison's just a small key, and nothing from Sash. Okay. And he gets the one item in Skull that he has access to, and it's a single green rupee. God, this is playing like, you know, Jet versus Structural Mike. The match I casted yesterday, where it was like, you know, you got to Dark World and there was like nothing for 20 minutes. I feel like it's more the same right now. So we have Eastern Pod. Is that really it at this point? I think it is. You could make the play and the argument to go ahead to break that mushroom for powder, but I feel like that's a little too much at this point. And yeah, Andy's just gonna go Eastern Pod as well. Except he's gonna go right to Pod. Okay, okay. Now this is spicy. So Andy's saying no to Sash and Eastern, and is saying, you know what? I had so many items in Light World at the start of this. I'm just going to Pod. I'm just going right to Pod. See you later. We'll find out if it's a mistake. Get the big key in the second chest in the Eastern. On Vex's side. Vex is doing the more traditional route, honestly. So this is the route that I expect most runners to do, just because they don't have a mirror. So if you do Pod, then you have to S and Q and then flip back, right? But either way, you got a double travel. So to me, it really doesn't matter which one you pick. The only difference is with Pod, you could be bow locked immediately, and then you know it's not the answer. But you could find something here, right? And oh, that's gross. That's gross. That's gross. He's thinking, he's like, nope. Pod time. Vex just found his bow in Pendant Eastern. That is gross. Oh, that's just ugly. Andy immediately getting bow locked. He should know now. But he's going to still play it. Ah, dude, he doesn't have any potions either. He's got to do Mimic Clip. Oh, God. I can't say I blame him for the time commitment, but this was the risk in coming through pod, right? Like, you knew it was going to happen. Yeah, he's checking for bottles now. He doesn't have any. He spent them all in Spike Cave. So he's not going to have an easier option at PCU and get through those mimics. He's very competent at Mimic Clip. He can do it really fast as well, bufferless, but it hurts like to do it with his fingers. So I imagine he's just going to maybe try it, and then if it works, whatever. If not, I'll go to buffers, but whatever. We'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, yeah, Vex going right away to pod. Strong call, honestly. Getting that bow. He doesn't want to risk going to back of Armos pendant. Maybe nothing. Yeah, he's just going to go right to buffers here. But the call it is now Vex has the bow, number one. But number two, he's going to be able to clear this pod much faster, not having to do this. So Vex will also get his tempered sword here. The first shooter room at pod. So the worst thing that can happen in Andy's case is that he runs into Titans past his bow. Because then he just logics out where bow could be. And I imagine he has to think it's probably Eastern at this point. So I don't think there's really anything left. Except for maybe Zora, right? Logically. So it would be really bad for him because then there's not as much incentive to go to Eastern at this point. Really wants to find mirror? That's probably the best thing he can find, honestly. Because then he just mirrors to Eastern after this. And mirror only unlocks a couple things, so I'm pretty inclined to think that we're going to find Titans, honestly. I would be very surprised if we didn't run into Titans here. If it's not Titans here, it's probably mirror direct to Titans or flippers direct to Titans kind of thing. Just the way this one's playing, in my opinion. Andy getting a small key here in the drop down. Vex going to go through the right side much quicker than Andy, of course, with that bow. Saved a lot of time on that. So yeah, meanwhile, Vex has carved himself a little bit of a lead. We've seen some blunders from both our runners. Vex with that unfortunate accident with the bow guard, and Andy with the death to the crab again. But these things happen, guys. Tournament bracket action for the Link to the Past randomizer main tournament. Of course, just doing a quick recap. VeXtopher is 1-0 in this matchup, so if he wins, he's going to proceed over into the next round of brackets. If he loses, then there's going to be a Game 3 matchup between both of these runners, and I believe they have it tentatively set up for Tuesday night, so that will be tomorrow, if required. Nothing in back of pod in the maze. Honestly, I'm surprised he checks Dark Maze, considering it's Ambrosia. And the reason I say that is because that could have been... You could have had 4 items on this right side, and then the maze is just dead. So I'm surprised he checks it, honestly. Alright, almost synced up here, going in through the Dark Rupee room. Okay, so we are going to see something in the Hellway. I think it's going to be the 4th item. And it's the Titan Myths. Oh, and there's Andy. See you later. Alright, so Andy knows that bow unlocks those Titans. So what does he decide to do with this? He might not play the bow yet, but he knows where the bow is going to be at this point. So Andy knows that the bow has to be at Eastern or Zora based on where he's been. Based on like what he's done in the seed. So he knows that, right? He might not think about it right away, but we'll see how this one goes. And of course, there's 2 bows in the pool. Does this hang him? We'll find out. If Helma has the second bow in silvers, then we know this is going to be a rough one. If he forgets that, that could be pretty devastating, right? Yeah, not really surprised at all seeing those Titans there. Vex setting up for Death Warp. He's going to, of course, finish off Pod being a crystal. That'll be his second crystal, so he's going to have the crystal advantage over Andy very shortly. After that, so what do our runners do here? So you don't have access point to ice. If you have Titans, honestly, I guess Meyer being a green penny, you don't really want to play that in Ambrosia. Meyer's kind of a bad idea, Ambrosia, honestly. And you're finding out that TR is Ether. Will be able to enter it. Has the right can get through some of the rooms potentially without Fire Rod. Just depends on keys. I want to say, I don't know how the key logic works out in Ambrosia in TR, honestly. So this is game 2. Vex, of course, up 1-0 in this matchup so far. There's our boots. So that's the Dark World boots. So that's why Andy wanted to kind of skedaddle over here ASAP. So the prophecy has been foretold through that that boot hint at the start of the game. So that's why. That's why I wanted to play this immediately. Okay, makes sense. Who knows? Maybe he just gets another bow here, right? Like, gets a mirror instead. Honestly, that's a really good find if he logics out where bow is and just maths it out accordingly and just says, you know, it's probably an Eastern. That way he just plays pod Eastern combo again and then dips Eastern for a bow and then goes to pod. I guess it depends on when he gets flippers at this point, right? Because then he would know that Zora's in logic and he could route there probably pretty easily with flips doing the other stuff. But yeah, let's see kind of what's gonna action here. We still don't really have too much with that mirror. It opens up a couple locations in the Dark World. And he's immediately key locked out of TR. Vex, meanwhile, finishing off Helma clean. Helma's going down. What does he got? Just bombs. All right, so pod is done for Vex. He's got the 2-1 crystal advantage now, and he's gonna go to Meyer area. Honestly, with the mirror, strong play, because now we can complete desert. So at this point, what we're looking for go, I guess, is the both rods. We don't necessarily need bombs. I didn't see what Meyer's medallion was. I don't think Andy scouted it, to be honest. But Vex, yeah, is going to be heading over. There's the book. Vex is going to be heading over for, maybe? Question mark? Oh, he's saying no. He's going right to my area. Okay, interesting. So, again, this is kind of a weird one. Vex, like, not playing Dark World Death Mountain for boots. Honestly, kind of an odd choice. And the only reason I say that, guys, is because he was playing so strongly to find boots early in Dark World and spent, like, a lot of time on it. So I thought that would have been maybe an A spot for him to go to, but he's saying no. We do see that desert is not boot locked on Andy's side. Just a 300 rupee. And we also know that Lamo now has the second item here. So the second Andy gets a big key, he's going to bail. So he just gets that big key there. He's going to go right to Helma. Vex, meanwhile, going to say, see you later. Doesn't have a mirror, so can't chain this in with desert. It is going to go back to mountain. So this is like the good, I want to say the good thing for like racing with Ambrosia is like these kind of scenarios where you can just go like right to the boss quick. You can just play out seeds a little bit faster than normally, rather than playing out all the locations. You're just like, you know what? Yeah, we're just gonna put that second or the last item in the boss. Just go right ahead. All right, Vex going ahead to Dark World here in the West Dark World. Where are you gonna go? Oh, he's going to go to Skullwoods. Or no, he's going to go to TR, sorry. TR Thievestown. I'm wrong 3 times over. Is he, though? Where is he going? Where is he going? Oh, he's got mitts. That's right. That's right. This is Hammer Pegs and maybe Smiths without mirror. Huh. You know, if he does hit here, it's going to be good for him. Like, regardless of not having mirror. Just use the heart piece here. Okay. Yeah, maybe he's thinking he can get boots this way. That's why I always kind of have my... kind of in the side of my brain right now is that... You know, they might be doing, like, maybe odd plays. In a traditional sense. He's gonna say no Smith's purple chest, isn't he? Yeah, he's gonna say no. But in, like, Ambrosia, you're just trying to hope to find boots in this scenario, being in Dark World. And he's gonna go to the mountain here. If I were to guess, he's just trying to figure things out. He's like, what do I got left? But he's fluting away. It just seems weird to me. Is this nerves maybe? He got his book, so he's gonna go into desert here. He will be able to complete desert. He will be able to complete it. And he's gonna go ahead and clean up Ice Rock Cave. So it's not bad. But I mean, you know where boots could be in Dark World. You have a very good spot open in Dark World Death Mountain. And desert could be boot locked. That's why I'm just like, I think this one is maybe... I don't want to say it's nerves. Maybe it's just... I don't know. I don't want to call it inexperience. But it seems to me this is just like... This is kind of an outside play. Alright, Andy gonna go ahead and give us a scout of the Lonely Island, which we know, or the Highly Island, which is the Red Roop. And then we're gonna go ahead and get the Hobo play. It's gonna work out for him. It's not like bad. Like, he's gonna get another crystal under his belt, right? It's just for me, I would expect him fully to kind of go to the Dark World Death Mountain first, but no. Maybe he's just kind of blocked it out, like, hey, I gotta focus on the crystals here, right? And that happens too. Regardless, he's gonna get back in the crystal lead over Andy anyways, with his third crystal off this desert. And he's also gonna have Fat Fairy, so maybe that's what he's thinking. But now that he sees that the 300 rupees are on the torch, he's probably thinking, yeah, desert's not boot locked. Fat Fairy could definitely have boots. So I feel like that's what I think that's what his angle is right now. And to that point, I don't think he's wrong, honestly. Now that I kind of put it all together and kind of think about it and logic it out, I think he's making an all right play. All right, Andy gets his butter. Nothing else here in the waterfall cave. It's really easy for me to make the right calls, guys, watching these races from like from bird's eye view, right? Like, it's really easy to do that. So that's why I'm trying to, again, put myself in their shoes and kind of think about, okay, so what are they thinking about and why would they be making these calls? And sure enough, it's kind of thinking it out loud sometimes works out for me. Andy gonna get our first look here at Zora. We saw Zora ledge was nothing. Vex is gonna set up for his Lamo fight. Zora just giving Andy absolute trash. Actual trash, though. We got Bow Lamo going on right here. We got Tempered Sword, though. This is the NMG strats in Vex kind of awakening, but I feel like Tempered Sword is just a bit faster. There we go. We got the swingies going. We want more swing. There we go. There we go. All right. All right, so Andy is going to go ahead to sash Andy's turn. Not surprisingly, he's kind of logicked it out. Honestly, it would just be a mistake to kind of think of, like, anyone... It's not just Andy in general. Anyone with, like, as seasoned as him, and there's a lot of runners in this community, I would be, like, remiss if I thought, hey, yeah, they don't know what they're doing, and they don't have it logicked out. He's just going to sash and leaving, dude. All right, never mind. He doesn't know what he's doing, chat. Guys, Bo doesn't do anything for him right now other than Helma, all right? So, like, think of it from this point. Yeah, you have an item at Helma. Yeah, it could be there. I could maybe run into another bow. He doesn't have Fire Rod, Ice Rod. It's not like he's one item from go. So he's still got to play the sea within the same pain points. Meanwhile, Vex has Fat Fairy here, which could be critical because that could be the kind of the momentum shifter here, I think. If we have Fat Fairy giving us flippers, giving us Fire Rod, we could see a pretty big swing here. And I think the last thing he really wants to see is this Fire Rod, because then just sends him up to TR. Mind you, that's good for him because he gets boots. But then he has to go to TR without an Ice Rod, right? And that could be something Andy finds in this Smith's purple chest. So these are kind of the things that can really swing a race, right? Alright, so we're gonna have Fat Fairy checked in just a second. We're gonna have Smith cashed in here at the same time. Just pay quick attention here. See bombs. We see 10 arrows, so no boots there. No speedy boy. So Vex should know at this point. Yeah, Mountain's probably my answer. And there's the Ice Rod for Andy at Smith's. Oh, let's flashback 5 minutes ago, guys. Andy quakes. Get out of here. God, get this off my stream. Vex was thinking long and hard. He was like, do I just go for Smith's mirrorless? Oh, man, does he not know how good of a play that would have been at this time. But he's going? Where's he going? He might be going for it, guys. Andy's fake pattern gets harp container. Honestly, I don't mind the play at this point. I think Vex is going for Smiths. If he gets Smiths without mirror, oh my god, he doesn't realize how good that is for him. He has hookshot like he's gonna boot speed. Does he go to Thieves? No, he's going to Smiths. Okay, so he's gonna get his Ice Rod here. He doesn't know how good of a play this is. Honestly, like, if he missed this Ice Rod, this would have been really bad for him this seed. Would have been really bad for it. And he thought about it earlier. He thought about it earlier too. So maybe that's what he's thinking. I honestly, guys, I imagine a world where he just like straight up forgot about the mountain. Like, he straight up forgot the mountain exists at this point. I'd be very surprised if he's like, yeah, I wanted to save mountain. That I wouldn't buy that. I imagine 100% he probably forgot about mountain at this point. All right, Andy gonna go ahead and cash in purple chest the fast way here by leaving the chest over at 45. We do have graveyard available as well that we haven't seen with that mirror from Andy. Yeah, purple chest have Fire Rod. That'd be interesting, right? But there's the Ice Rod there for Vex as well. So it's a difference right now of having boots way earlier and Vex not having it. He's flitting back to 3. He wants purple chest. He's 100% forgot about it, guys. This is good routing in the tablet. I mean, I would expect it, right? Like, he's right there. Does he go Thieves now? Or is he just doubling down on the purple chest? Where are you going? You're going north? No, he's going south. He's going right to the purple chest. He would go left to mid. Yeah, he's going for purple chest. This has to be it. Honestly, this... I'm going to say maybe just inexperienced and mix of nerves here. And I feel like everyone's kind of made this mistake, right? Where they've kind of forgotten about an area and they're like, oh shit, like why did I not think of that, right? Like, it happens, guys. It happens. But again, it could have been way worse. It could have been nothing. But he gets a really good Ice Rod, honestly. He doesn't know how good that is. Andy could have went to Pod Eastern with this play. And then carried it with mirror, but I think he's just got bow on the mind at this point. Now he's probably thinking, you know what, maybe I should just do like Helma. That being said, if he gets bow here at this spot with what he has done, as Vex is going to the mountain now. Okay. I'm curious about that. I feel like maybe he's just playing it for an edge, or maybe like now. No, I think he may. Yeah, maybe he just forgot. In any spot, you know, getting that bow where he does with the big K in hand, Armos would not be a bad play. Armos would not be a bad play for him. Because the only thing that bow opens at this point is going to be Helma, right? For one item. It is a crystal. It is Fat Fairy. So there is some baggage to that. But I feel like... Oh, just get that full magic. Jesus. He gets the bow and mirrors, dude. Gets the bow and mirrors. All right. And you go ahead and now go to pot. Probably feels really behind. Probably does. Probably does. That being said, like once he finds out nothing's really behind Bo, except for of course Armos now, I guess. He'll be relieved when he sees that Helmet has nothing, honestly. I'm a little surprised though if he feels behind. Like if he does actually feel behind, I would 100% expect him to play Armos. But maybe playing 01, he's probably thinking I need to play it a bit tighter than that and just play the Crystal and play Fat Fairy at that point. So I feel like this is Andy's play to kind of get things back on track. And while I feel like he probably would want to do Armos in that spot, he's just like, I can't afford it. He's like, I can't do that. Alright, so Vex gonna get his boots very shortly. I imagine also we'll try to venture into TR while he's here. Also a Spike Cave to kind of clean up, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Alright, Vex getting his boots. Probably very happy about that. He won't be happy about seeing where the mirror is, honestly. That'll be kind of a bro moment, like, come on, man. Like, if Mirror is, like, very late and you got that Ice Rod. Like, say Mirror was in TR and you got that Ice Rod. You feel like a god about it, right? But you're going to get Mirror here and you're going to be like, man, kind of sucks. Or if, like, you have Fire Rod in hand, you found the Mirror now. I feel good about it, too. But anyways. And he needs to set up for his Terrapin setup here. See if he nails it. Nope. Terrapin does not want to play nice. So I find, like, to kind of juke the Terrapins in the right position, you can kind of tap left on your controller as you're coming through that door with your sword charge, and that way it always kind of seems to set up the Terrapins in the correct position for me. Bet, seemingly we're about a Fire Rod away from go here. And Flippers. So Flippers, Fire Rod. One leads to the other, question mark? Ice Palace still not accessible without Bomb Booster Fire Rods, so we know that's out. So that's kind of a very attractive crystal option for these guys right now, actually, if they had it open. Can't finish Skull without Fire Rod. You can finish Thieves. You can also finish Eastern, so it's starting to come down to that, honestly. As we see Vex bailing out his TR because he can't complete it. He's also going to go ahead and check out Spike Cave, which we know is also dead. Zandy mirror. He mirrors. This is 100% the right play, I feel. He's mirroring the flute. This is objectively just a play. I think he's going to play Thieves Town now. Vex getting that heart piece. Let's see what this next play is going to be. I think this is him playing it like it's now defensive, and he wants to kind of... Oh, he hasn't done the North Road stuff. That's right. That's right. No, he's not going to check that at this point. He's probably thinking Graveyard. He can do Graveyard, King's-Tomb, and Bonk Rocks here, actually. So we see Vex going for King's-Tomb right now. And he's going to be able to do all three at the same time. We see Red Mail from King's-Tomb. We see a Red Rupee from Bonk Rocks. The golden armor. That's the Hadouken armor from, is it the Hadouken armor from the X-Series? I think it is. Or it's just the fully charged stuff, right? Like the full upgraded suit. Andy now checking Lumberjacks. He's like, oh god, please don't be here. Yeah. It's just a heart piece. Alright, so he's gonna go back to graveyard now, I guess. Graveyard soon. Yep. Vex checking the lumberjacks now at the same time. These guys are right on top of each other. This is such a good race. This has been a great series, honestly, to cast. Like, normally I don't cast a full series like this. But mind you, I haven't really casted much before, right? Like, I've always commentated. So this is kind of a neat kind of experience to kind of get a series under my belt. I'm really enjoying it, honestly. Really enjoying it. We see checkerboard from Vex. So we have Meyer available while he's here, and he's going back in for the mirror spot. So he might be pulling the trigger now on Meyer. And yeah, he's 100% doing that right now. Andy gonna make the same play. These guys are actually on top of each other right now. This is a great race, guys. This is a treat. This is a treat. Okay, so this is the start of things start to kind of come down to execution, guys. So you can see VeXtopher kind of handle the Mire 2 area. Does have sword beams, doesn't have any magic, has a good handle on it, honestly, without Fire Rod. Gets through it as cleanly as possible, honestly. Andy does not have sword beams, is going to have to go through a slower Mire 2 area here. So he's going to lose a little bit of time. Gets heart there from the Wizrobe. Getting that sword beam. Yeah, Andy's kind of handcuffed by not having the sword beam, so it's kind of an unfair fight, right? But Vex is also a 129 MMG runner, so I fully expect both of them to have competent rooms. And given, like, you know, what each runner had to work with, without optimized gear, they both did a tremendous job with it, honestly. I've seen way worse. I don't like that hook shot to the chest there, so you never want a hook shot to that chest. It's like you lose a heart for free. Okay, so just the map key. Myra's gonna be it could be a quick dip in the sense that you see the one item and maybe you bail, but being Ambrosia, you know that the second item is on the boss. You know that's green pendant, so this could hypothetically be a very quick dungeon. Vex is gonna play that and go to the right side first with this small key. I really like this play actually in Ambrosia. I think this is a very good. The flippers. Is he out? He's staying. Oh, this is big. Andy's going left side. Does he commit full? Wait. Vex, why are you bowling? Why are you... Wait. Vex, it's Ambrosia. Where's he going? Wait, what? Oh, he's getting the magic. He's out of magic. I'm like, where are you going? This is Ambrosia. This is where runners will forget about Ambrosia, right? They'll kind of have that sense. Oh, wait, no, he's going from full Mire then. He's looking for the big key. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. He sees the small key on the chest here, so he knows that cutscene has big chest, or big key. And Andy's making the same play. Okay, I understand now. I understand what's going on. So Vex is staying because he wants to finish Mire. That's a really tight call. I feel like both runners are doing that. And I feel like that's 100% the right play. I don't, because Andy knows big key's here. So I feel like Andy's playing pocket in case that big chest has the item. But I also wouldn't be surprised if he leaves. It's like, I think this is 50-50 if he stays or not. I think you're right, though. I think him being seasoned, he's going to play Swamp knowing it's 6 items. And knowing he's a Fire Rod away from go now. We'll have to wait and see. Sees flippers? He's staying, guys. No, he's leaving. He was lining up. He was lining up. He was ready to go. All right, so we have Divergence now. Vex is going to complete Mire here. It's not going to take him that long with his kit. But Andy's going to head right to Crystal Swamp. I think if you polled a lot of runners in the community, you probably think that Andy's play is probably what most entrants would say at this point. I would bet a good penny that, you know what, you asked a lot of runners, they would say at this point, yeah, I would just play Swamp. But I don't think either plays bad. I think that in Vex's side, maybe he's feeling a little bit behind, but maybe he's trying to play clean. In the sense that I just don't want to leave anything here. I've already left like Armos on the table. I don't want to really risk any more. And maybe he's thinking Andy will do it, right? So maybe he's playing defensive against that. If I don't do it here and flippers are here, then maybe I'm kind of screwed if I just leave it. And it's 2 items, right? But this is kind of how races are decided at this point though, right? Because what we know is what we know, and unless like Bombos gets found out to a Fire Rod and Ice, it's gonna be Fire Rod either here or Ice Palace, right? Or sorry, either here or Swamp Palace. See, Compass from the first test at Swamp. Vitreous guaranteed to have an item. That's why Vex didn't do the last 2 chests in Mire here. Except for NMG strats with the Tempered Sword. Has to be a little bit careful. Does have red mail, so he's only going to take 1 heart of damage each. Gets it done very nicely. Very nicely. Awesome fight. Could have been a little bit faster with the bow. But honestly, perfect. Sees $20 from this, from Vitreous. Now has Green Pendant to exercise. Keep in mind, guys, Andy has done the flipper stuff. Vex has not. Vex actually took a soft lock, fake flippering earlier, so he's not yet seen the Zora area. So that could be one of his priorities once he catches into the screen. I imagine he goes straight to Green Pendant, or he might just run it in after. He's gonna go right to Swamp first. Okay. Honestly, a bit surprising, given that it's Green Pendant and Mire. A bit surprising, but I don't hate it. Mind you, like, yeah. So the way I'll explain it is that you commit it to the boss. You know what's the second item? The Green Pendant is an extra bonus ticket, right? It's like a lottery ticket, right? Like, it's like your Encore. That's the Green Pendant. But that Encore does cost money. So that money is time in his instance, and Andy just hit Fire Rod for go. Okay, so Andy's in go mode right now. Vex is not going to be too far behind. We need to pay attention to whether or not Vex does full left or if he goes straight for the boss. And I imagine he's going to go straight for the boss, being Ambrosia. This is a close race, guys. Chat, do not count your chickens before they hatch at this point. We still have Ganon's Tower ahead of us. These runners are close together. And both runners are playing very well. Again, minor hiccups and blunders. Overall, played a good seed. Right now, the story developing. VeXtopher staying in Mire and Andy bailing. That is the key difference right now on this time difference. Andy with an excellent Argus fight. Excellent Argus fight. Getting the 0 cycle there. Holy! What a fight. Got some nice RNG on the puffs, though. But honestly, it's so sick to make that happen. Okay, so Andy's now got to do the world tour with this Fire Rod. He's got 3 dungeons now open to him that he couldn't beat before, right? Being Skullwood's Ice Palace and TR. So guys, let's just sit back and kind of enjoy what we're about to watch now. Because we're going to watch 2 really good runners here. Very skilled runners. Just kind of finish off the game for the next 15 minutes. We don't have to talk about Rando anymore. We can just talk about, like, you know, how they're playing and, like, you know, what kind of nuances here at this point, right? And I kind of enjoy that sometimes. I don't really, you know, Rando is a great kind of product to kind of talk about and, you know, cast a storyline to. But I feel like in this instance, this is a really cool segment. And we see Vex going left side. Oh no, this is so bad for him. It's so close. You just have to. Oh, it's. Oh, yeah. Guys, this is 100%. This is 100% a runner that's 1-0 up. This is 100% a runner 1-0 up. And I see it sometimes, and I see it where they play a little bit too safe. And I can't fault them for it because I've done it, right? Like I've played that safe before, being up 1-0 in brackets. I've seen other runners do it, being up 1-0 in brackets, right? Like it happens, guys. Like it happens. Not every call every runner is gonna make is the right one. Except for me, get home. All right, so Vex is gonna actually get a scout here on left side. Silvers actually wouldn't be bad right now. If he gets Silvers here on this left side, honestly, he saves a lot of that time back. Andy can go ahead for his moth fight here. I'm expected to be pretty clean, just given the fact that he has boots and tempered plus. You see, just bombs. Unfortunate. Andy, please, Andy, please. I said it's clean. That's not clean, dude. Moth was a bit of a piece of shit, though. I'm just gonna be real with you guys. I think everyone's had that moth fight where it's just awful. Much as I want to yell at Andy, it's really hard to at this point. I don't think Silvers can make up for the time sink. It doesn't make up for the time sink. It gives them time back. And I understand what you guys are saying. I'm not saying, oh my god, he just gains time. Guys, please, all right. Chat, we're going to have a sit down, all right, chat? We're just going to stop talking about the match for a second. We're going to have a sit down, all right? Andy going to Ice Palace. Vex is about to find his fire rod. This little bonus heart container there. Click off Andy's skull woods. There we go. Yeah, now 2 crystals to Vex's 3. Again, the left side just really gonna put him behind here. Yeah, Solsky turning the chair around. Not only am I turning the chair around, guys, but I'm literally gonna Captain Riker that chair. If you don't know what that means, YouTube it. Just like YouTube, Captain Riker sits down in chairs. Okay? And you'll know what I mean. And if you've seen the video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But like, what I'm trying to say is, I've been around the block, guys. I kind of know the game. Do I make every right call? No. Do I say everything right? No. I'll get there. Don't worry. Don't worry, guys. Trust in the Solsky. All right, not as great RNG, honestly, from Vex's side. He was trying to go for the quick kill there, but Argus was not paying too much attention to Vex's signals, saying, come on, man, I really need to speed up here. Can you just, like, please give me the good pattern? And it didn't give him the good pattern. So it was pretty tough to pull off where he was, positioning-wise. A little bit slow on a little bit the puffs, too, but honestly, like, still a really good fight. That's really just being nitpicky about it. Is this faster? What? Did Andy not hit the switch? Is that why he's doing this? Chat, am I missing something? Oh, he needs magic. Oh, gotcha. But he has sword beams. What? This is really... Okay, that's super safe. Okay, I get it. That's super safe. He doesn't need to do that with sword beams. Like, he can just sword beam fire rod shot. But I get what he's doing that. He doesn't want to run out. He doesn't want to be that guy. Okay. But we didn't have enough magic from that one there. I'm going to stop asking these questions. Guys, I'm just going to lose track. Also, butter versus tempered sword advantage. Oh my god, saves 30 minutes. That doesn't exist, by the way. I'm just kind of memeing. It's a very pink cold indeed. Real cotton candy. Okay, Vex heading on over to Ice Break over here. Andy now completed ice. So again, 6 crystals to 4, maintaining that 2 crystal lead. And the main difference we're seeing with that time is just Vex's decision to complete full mire and chase that big key. And then go left side swamp. So if Vex left when he got flippers, I think super close at that point. I think it's super close. Because he's getting flippers as Andy's doing the torch puzzle, right? And while he does left side, he's not as behind. He's probably 1 crystal behind versus 2. Like, Andy's probably nice as he's going to skull at that point. Yeah, Andy heading on his way over to TR. We know the first test was Garb. And we know right side has to be done here. We also know last item is the boss has to have an item. So knowing that routing TR, you know that you're not as liable to get maps and compasses. I don't know how, again, we talked about this a little bit earlier. I don't know how the logic plays out for keys in TR with Ambrosia. I don't know if the same percentages play out for, say, skipping the big chest. So that's what I'm not really aware of. Because now I know I don't have a dungeon item on Trinex. So does that make it better to skip it or worse? I'm not really sure. I don't even know if it plays in. I think it still has to be the same key logic. And it's still the same odds now that I think of it like that, I think. So I need like a rando scientist to kind of math that one out for me. All right, we got Ice Palace done for Vex's side. No problems at all with that full stair fight. Also a pretty nice and clean fight. These guys know what they're doing, guys. Vex heading over to Skull to finish that off, and then he's going to be heading over to TR. Meanwhile, Andy going to give us a preview here of the keys. We did see small key right side. We don't have big key yet. Oh, Lord, he's dashing. Guys, I don't know if I really hate Andy's sprite with like beady eyes, or if it'd be worse with like cartoon dog eyes. You know what I mean? He's kind of got like the Teddy Ruxpin look right now with those beady eyes. He had like the cartoon. You know what I'm talking about? He's got like the cartoonish eyes. What if it just had Andy's eyes? That's a 10-minute timeout for you, mister. God. Zebra destroyed. Yup. God, that's like Patty Yikes, except in sprite form, I think, at that point. What if it was just Andy's face at that point, right? Like, what if it's just Andy's face on the dog? Someone's gonna do that, I'm sure. Someone's gonna make the sprite. You know, it's gonna be like the Pug Trio artwork. Just apply it to the sprite. Easy. Easy done. Don't do it for me. I'm never gonna play it. Actually, it kind of looked funny with the eggplant in there, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. FX having a much better moth fight than Andy. Not gonna lie. We all know who the real gamer is today. As I click these keys. For Skullwoods. Oh, God. I don't know why. I can't, like, time out people for, like, a minute. So I had to time out, like... I either had to purge Zebra for a second or time him out for 10 minutes. And I think I picked the appropriate response. He's DMing me right now. What is this? Zebra pings me in Discord. Now that that image is in your head, you can't escape me, Solski. God, dude. It's actually the worst thing right now. I'm sure Felix is going to make like a Photoshop of it. Christ. I don't want to see that, guys. Andy just having a free lunch here on Trinex. Buttersword is an incredibly easy fight on Trinex. I think Buttersword, it's like the easiest call out to see for a newer runner is like how easy the fight becomes versus the other swords. And it's one of the rarer bosses where sword really matters. The other one that comes to mind immediately is Meyer in Vidi. I guess Colt's there. So like the last 3 bosses, naturally, right? How the game's kind of progresses, but it's interesting that like say Blind and Moth are like so cutthroat. All right. Andy making his climb into GT now. And Vex is going to snuff out his... Oh, so Big Key was on that right side. Okay. I was just asleep for that. Don't tell my wife that, guys. She's just going to give me massive shit later. She's like, really? You didn't see that Big Key? Really? She's going to be like, bro... Guys, my excuse is, you know, this is a new dad thing. We had a pretty rough night last night, right? Like with the baby. I was up at 3 a.m. kind of calming him down for an hour. And I kind of let him fall asleep back in my arms kind of thing. Just kind of, you know, get things calmed down. But I couldn't get back to sleep. And it was just an early work day for me at that point. Played Overwatch for an hour and went to work at like 6 a.m. That was my day. That's why I was like on Twitter. I was like, don't wake me up from my nap, guys. You don't want to see me when I'm angry. But that's just the dad life, right? That's just the dad. It's just dad things, right? Okay, so Vex getting his key here from Pokey. Andy not finding the key yet. And just free. Imagine doing full right to finding that big key torch. Like, oh, that's just the worst, right? God. All right. It's pretty standard stuff at this point. We're at the tail end of the seed. Ganon Tower Climb. 3 major segments is the first part here with the Mimics. Second big segment we're going to see is the Gauntlet 1 through 5. And then pretty much just clean up to Moldworm. And then Moldworm itself. So that's like kind of like the big 3 obstacles. Execution-wise. So those are like the big highlights. Where I'd normally see time gained or lost. I guess you can argue Lamo. But pretty traditional fight. Moldworm is like, you know, if you hover or not, and if you're successful. And then Gauntlet 1 through 5 is pretty self-explanatory, right? It's a gauntlet for a reason. Some of the toughest screens in the game, especially for newer runners, so it throws a lot at you. But you just kind of do it so much if you really get proficient at this game. It's just kind of like back of your hand kind of stuff, right? I want to say, like, Gauntlet's probably some of my most fun that I have in Rando, honestly. Just getting through the seed. So it's the tail end. I don't really have to think about anything. I'm just kind of, you know, going through the motions and completing the seed and having a little bit of fun with the game at the end of it. So I really do enjoy that. Yeah, no problems for Andy on the Lamo fight. Vex is actually heading over to Trinex right now. You know, if he does directly go left, it's going to save a lot of time. But at this point, it's seemingly going to be a little too close for Andy at the top of the tower here. Okay. Really nice Trinox fight from Vex with Tempered Sword. And he's got a 7th crystal. So he on his way. And he electing to check? No, I was gonna say, is he electing to check these for silvers? But no, he's saying see ya. I wouldn't fault him for it, honestly, because he's checked so much, and same with Vex. So I wouldn't, you know, if either runner checked it, I honestly wouldn't hold it against him. Yeah, Vex entering in GT right as Andy is going to be hookshotting past Moldorm. I feel like Andy feels like this is a tight race, given the fact he didn't try to hover. Just like, see you later. He doesn't feel panicked that he has to do it, but he doesn't feel like he wants to give up any time either, kind of thing. And Vex is going to go pure left side here. And I want to say that might play into the fact that Andy did full right. Nice little triple there from Andy. Start this Agatha. Gets really patterned there on the second pattern. Only is able to get one. It's a pretty nasty one. Gets more blue balls. Let's go with the 3-1-1 here. All right. Andy's moments away from descending down to Ganon. Vex is entering in now into mix 1 and 2. Those aggro patterns were literal trash. They were. They're pretty bad. They were pretty rough. Like, you know, you can always say, yeah, I could have slashed at them and maybe got a double out of it, but like the blue ball timings are so bad, and you have to dodge the blue ball. It's like, you know, you could try, but you're like 98% chance not gonna hit it, right? Unless you get like either lucky or just really, really, really locked into how you want to approach it. But wait, how is Andy talking to us and racing at the same time? Andy's like, I am that good. Listen here, Buster Brown. I don't think you're that good, all right? I mean, you were 0-1. Like, just kidding. I'm not ACMLM. God, I haven't seen him play in a long time. Dude can type literal essays while playing M&G. Yeah. That is a blast with the pass. Extremely skilled runner. He went back to SimCity and Warrior Woods. Yeah. I've seen him play a lot of that recently. He's kind of like one of my chill go-to streams on the night. But enough about that. Andy gonna pull out the W here. Begrudgingly. Is gonna tie this series up 1-1. Andy, of course, is gonna be your winner here. With a final time of 1:27.53. Solid time, considering the seed. I guess the key points to discuss on this one. We had some blunders at the start, cost both runners time. Pretty much on top of each other for most of the race. But it ultimately just came down to a decision, you know, to full clear Mire versus leave. And then do left side swamp versus go to the back. That's basically it. That's it. That's all. Two really good runners doing what they do best. And it's just, you know, it's those decisions at the end of the day that where the winner wins and the loser goes home. So it's 1-1. Beck's not out of it yet. Andy not out of it yet. Both runners now tied. It is best of 3, guys. So that means that Andy and Vex will be playing tomorrow. I have it on good authority. Tomorrow night. And I'll actually broadcast that one as well. because this has been an amazing series to watch. Vex, unfortunately, going to take the forfeit here. Don't blame him. Going to save the energy for tomorrow. Both our runners hate Ambrosia. Both our runners didn't want to race Ambrosia, but one runner had to win. Man, this has been good to watch. What mode is game 3? We won't know until the seed rolls. So one of the admins actually came into the race room and kind of mentioned that it can't be Ambrosia. Something about card costs. I have no idea what the hell that means. But I'm just going to say that I'm going to take their word for it and say that it can't be Ambrosia. All my homies hate Ambrosia. I don't know about that. Like, you guys are like, I hate Ambrosia, and then you get the inverted Keysanity. I feel like that's the one. I feel like inverted Keysanity would make it like a bit better for me. I have a hard time finding people that like inverted, honestly. It's not really surprising either, but I know some people like it. That's fine. Some people like keys, some people like that, some people like standard stuff, right? So. Yeah, that's gonna kind of wrap it up for us here today, guys. So thanks for watching the broadcast, and I'm gonna let the credits roll out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great night. Hi YouTube, Andy's YouTube. You guys are awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys later. See you tomorrow night, guys. Sometime tomorrow night, I'll be back on Game 3. Guys, this isn't just me, Solsky, from the past. I forgot one more thing. I plugged it earlier. I'm going to plug it again. Our friend Fury Agent, guys, has started a new podcast every Monday night. I did that wrong. Every Monday. What's this called Monday? I don't know if it's Monday night. Release new episodes every Monday. All things linked to the past randomizer. Community, racers, whatever. 216pod.com. First episode is out now, featuring Dante. It's a real good listen. You guys should check it out. All right, now I'm gone for real. Andy sucks. He ain't getting his ass on Saturday.